Howdy, folks. Hope y'all doing okay today. Thanks for tuning in. So, I want to talk about something completely unrelated to politics and news today. The short version of why I'm talking about this is my wife went and hung out with someone that we know for a little bit today, and they're having problems with gossip. Specifically being gossiped about. And I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. And just, darn ladybugs getting in everything. And just kind of my thoughts on it. So before I get into it today, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, hit the notification bell. Like I've said before, if there's anything that you want to hear my opinion on that I haven't touched on, leave it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to even have to do a little research to form an opinion. So, getting into it, the first time that I was seriously gossiped about, I was a teenager. Now, one of the things y'all got to understand, I was homeschooled. So, I didn't have a lot of the daily classmate interactions where gossip had the potential to be a thing. In my latter years as a student, we did have group learning where a handful of homeschool mothers had agreed to teach a class on various things. You know, you had math, public speaking, debate class, a PE class, and so on. Well, and there wasn't a lot of gossip going on there, but where this gets interesting is, to my chagrin, when I was 16, 17 years old, I'd gotten my first truck. Dad bought it for me because his dad bought him his first car. It was a not terribly quick F-150, which was enough for me to start my first bout of being self-employed. But it was enough for a 16-year-old kid to get into trouble. First vehicle I got pulled over in, I was just not paying any attention to how fast I was going. I was just getting through traffic. I look down, I'm running 15 over, and there's a cop heading the other way in the median turning around to get me. So, you know, that one was my bad. I did it. He wrote me a warning because I was a young kid, didn't know no better. Well, I knew better, but, you know, the rules didn't apply to me. So, wrote me a ticket, or gave me a warning, rather. Because I was like, is this going to make my insurance go up? He's like, if I write you a ticket, it sure will. I'm like, oh, crap. Because I was having to pay my own insurance. Well, anyway, I get done with that. And then there was one time I was coming back from visiting a good friend of mine. And there was a nice open stretch of 4-lane parkway, divided median between the two lanes. And one of the things my dad always taught me, and, you know, say what you want, but in this particular instance, this has served me pretty well. One of the things he always taught me is whatever the speed limit is, you need to be doing at least that by the bottom of the ramp, and then you can merge into traffic and adjust your speed as needed, but don't be doing 50 by the top of the ramp. You know, be going as close as you can get to the speed limit. So the ramp on this was a little short for the truck to be getting up to speed, so I wind it up through the gears, first, second, third, and I'm doing within 5 of the speed limit. I forget what the speed limit might have been, 65 at the time, so I'm right around it. And I'm right down at the bottom of the ramp, and I'm getting ready to let it wind down and set my cruise control. And I'll check my mirror, and there is absolutely nothing. This is like a 1.5, 2 mile straight stretch. And there was nothing coming up behind me. And I'll look up ahead, and there's nothing going either direction in front of me. And I'm like, we're just going for it. And I found out where that truck was governed. Thankfully, nothing happened, uneventful. I was a dumb 16-year-old kid. Chalk it up to being a dumb 16-year-old kid. Well, I get home and I do a dumb thing. I call the buddy whose house I just left, probably my best friend at the time, and I have to tell him about my little story. Well, he didn't have a cell phone, he had a landline. And his parents had a phone in their room, and they were just trying to make a call, and they caught part of the conversation. Long story short, all that gets circulated around the group of mothers that I knew. And so I was gossiped about to a point, and I get it to a point because I was the oldest kid in my group of friends. And so a lot of times, like, hey, can so-and-so stay the night with me? Well, sure. Do you need... I'll just come get him. That's fine. So a lot of times their kids were riding with me to and from places. So I get it to a point, but it was... The gossip got so bad that it came back to me, where one of the parents, is it safe for him to ride with you? I'm like, yeah, it's safe. You know, I hadn't had an accident. I hadn't had a ticket. So, well, anyway, and there have been other times I've been gossiped about various things, especially at work. You know, you'd think you work at a factory where the entry age is 18 years old and the median workforce age is in their 30s. I work with high schoolers, and they gossip constantly about stuff. And the thing is, like, okay, if someone said, hey, did you hear that so-and-so got in an accident and their car's totaled? No, I didn't. Do they need a ride? You know, stuff like that's useful, but oh, so-and-so, they did da-da-da-da-da-da, and so-and-so said this, and what's-his-face is all upset about it. I don't care. I came there to work. And there's a handful of gossips on my shift that stir up 90% of the drama. And I don't understand it. And I don't understand why they do what they do and stir up what they stir up. It just seems pointless to me. One time someone was spreading crap about me. I'd been carpooling with someone for a little while, and this woman was giving me, you know, a couple bucks a week to drive her into work and all that. And sometimes I'd, you know, stop off here or there so she could get some grocery shopping done on the way home, or pick up a pack of smokes, or what, you know, so just little, not really out of the way errands, but it did take a little bit of time. So that became a topic of great discussion because I'm a married man, and I was at the time. So that went around the gossip mill, and I'm like, y'all are idiots. Ain't no way that what you all are throwing around and speculating is what's going on. I'm a very happily married man. My wife knows that I picked this person up and drive them into work and whatever was going on, you know, work, errands, things like that. And she's okay with it. I asked her before I even told the person, sure, I'll take you. And I've given several coworkers rides over the years, male and female, and my wife has always known about it. I think the only time that someone didn't know about it is someone had asked me while my wife was at home asleep, and I figured she'd rather just find out the next day versus being woke up. But nothing happened. So I just don't understand why people gossip. I think it is a fruitless use of time. I think all it does is irritate people. And in this day and age, people are irritated enough. You know, you've got COVID and a dozen other things going on this year that are just irritating. And I don't care where you come down on these issues, it's all irritating. So I just don't understand why you would choose to irritate yourself and others by gossiping. So anyway, that's just kind of what I've got for today. Nothing too serious, but don't be a gossip. It accomplishes nothing. You know, there was one time, I don't know who started the rumor. Well, I probably do. But there was a rumor going around that would have affected one of my good friends in my relationship. And so it was funny, as soon as I found out about that rumor, I went straight to his work because I knew his schedule. I was 19, 20 years old. We were hanging out constantly, so everybody kind of knew everyone's schedule. So if you decided you wanted to pop in, hey, you know, I know he gets off at this time, or I know he's off these days. Well, anyway, I go sit at my buddy's place of work, park right next to his car, and I watch him walk out, and he walks up to the car. He's like, hey, man, what's up? I said, we need to talk. He goes, I already heard. Let's go over to my place, and we'll chat over there. Ain't no sense sitting out here in the parking lot and freezing. Dead of winter. So we go over to his house, and we sat down and talked it out. Both of us knew that it was rumors, and neither one of us was going to let it get in the way of our friendship. So I don't understand why people gossip. If you've got problems with someone, you know, go talk to them in person. Don't run your mouth. I mean, the only person that I gossip to would be my wife. And a lot of times that's just for her counsel on things. So if I have an issue with Mr. or Miss So-and-so over this thing, I'm not going to air that out with a dozen people in that circle of people. I'm going to go talk to my wife about it. Say, hey, here's what's going on. What's your opinion? Here's what I'm thinking. Do you agree? I'm not going to go airing out that laundry to everybody. So, anyway, don't gossip. Go straight to the source if you got a problem. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.